In Kerala, a decision by the LDF government to extend bar operating hours across the state up until midnight, that has now triggered a major political storm. The opposition and influential church bodies are accusing the LDF government of pushing a booze bribe ahead of the elections. Under the new order by the state government, bars, beer and wine parlours can now operate from 10 a.m. to 12 midnight. So that's 2 hours at both ends. Earlier, they used to function from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So they've added 1 hour at closing and 1 hour earlier opening, while those in tourist destinations were allowed slightly longer hours earlier. The decision has drawn sharp backlash. There is a significant, how does one put it? There is an alcohol problem in that state, with the per capita state consumption of alcohol being in the highest in the country. Will this decision have an impact, though, on the upcoming elections? That is the critical one. It's not so much the decision itself, but the timing of this decision coming as it does just weeks before the state goes to polls.
Whatever reason is behind for extending these 3 hours, it is very difficult to hear. The government has to rethink this decision and put it back.
There is no need for any controversy, I think, because if you look to other states, there may be these kind of practices, and many states much liberal timing is there, but Kerala, it is something strict.
Sebastian Paul is a leader of the Left Front, a former member of Parliament. I'll also be joined by Colonel Dini, spokesperson of the Kerala BJP. Mr. Paul, what is the rationale? What is the logic of this decision where people are trying to curb alcoholism as a problem? The left government is increasing the timings of bars. I mean, at 10 a.m. in the morning. Come on.
Now in Kerala, as you know, the nights are becoming longer in length. There are so many tourists are coming, so many international conferences are being held, not only in big cities like Kochi or Thiruvananthapuram, but even in remote areas like Idiki and Wayanad, where if we close the bar at 10 o'clock, it may cause inconvenience to some people. So 1 hour at the end and 1 hour at the beginning, 2 hours. The time is the day is lengthened. Always this.
Mr. Paul, tell me, there is a alcohol consumption issue in the state, in as much as the per capita consumption of alcohol in Kerala is one of the highest in the country. You're adding to that problem. You're not taking away from that problem.
No, I am doubtful whether Kerala is leading in the number of beverages outlets or in the matter of consumption. Apart from that, our policy, the left government's policy, is not prohibition at all. They are trying to promote temperance. For that, it is a separate ministries also, but department itself is functioning.
Okay.
The project like Vimukti, all those things are there. But we cannot stop drinking or stop sale of liquor overnight. That is why, taking into so many realities, government has taken a decision. But whatever be the decision, it will always attract criticism, bad criticism.
So Colonel Dini is also joining us. Colonel Dini, it's adults, they're grown-up people, they can decide whether they want to have a tipple. What's your problem? Why are you opposed to it?
Zakka, I think, we all understand what are the ills of having, too much of liquor anywhere, whether it's in your house or as a person or in the society. And as you rightly mentioned, that Kerala has a problem. I mean, let's face it that, you may try to hide it under the carpet, but Kerala has a problem. As far as liquor goes, as far as drugs goes, all this is a social problem of Kerala. Now, I want to highlight the double standards of the CPM. In 2016, what did their manifesto say? Their manifesto said that we will gradually reduce the number of bars. Is it right or not?
Yeah.
They said that not a single new bar would be open. Is it right or not? They said that, the age of the people having liquor would be raised, I think, to 23 or something. Did it happen? No. So what they said and what they're doing right now is totally different. The number of bars has increased from 29 in 2016 to 884 today, as we speak. So this is what the LDF government has done over a period of time, and going by their own policy of reducing the intake, and they call it different name, abstinence or whatever. Now, second point, what is the timing of this particular decision, Zakka?
Yeah.
There is an election which is coming up in a few days' time. So it is clear that there's a deal being signed with the liquor lobby so that all the expenses during the elections are taken care of. But it's not rocket science to understand that at this point of time, and the entire process was finished in 2 days time. January 29th, the excise minister puts up the file. 31st of January, the CM signs. So it happened so fast, which is remarkable by Kerala standards. And now we have to.
So, Mr. Paul, there are two things here. One, please answer the question that Colonel Dinny was asking. That the LDF government has been in power for 10 years now. At the fag end of this term, just before elections are going to be called, you've made a decision such as this. And two, all those promises that you made 10 years ago, that's been thrown out the window. In fact, the previous government of Mr. Umanjandi was brought down for one of the big reasons was around this whole bar issue. And at that time, you were not saying that you will open bars from 10 a.m. to midnight or that you will increase the number of bars in the state.
But we were not endorsing the decision of the Umanjandi government to close all the bars in the state. 118 bars was closed during his tenure. But what happened? He lost the election. What happened to A.K. Antony? He prohibited the Arak sale in the state. He lost that election also. So there is no question of people supporting or negative at all.
So you are saying in Kerala the opposite happens. If you support alcohol, people support you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So it is not practically possible to stop all these things overnight. That is why I said our policy is to promote temperance. The temperance movement is officially government-sponsored program is going on in the state. But here, what is very innocuous thing to extend the time of functioning of the bars for 2 hours, one at the beginning and one at the end.
What about the criticism that why did you wait for the fag end, just before the elections to announce this? You're doing this for political reasons. Colonel Dinny says it's to get money from the excise lobby.
Well, if the people are all against drinking or liquor, it will be reflected in the election also. So we are taking a great risk at the fag end of our term. We are supposed to giving relaxation. But that is not the problem. Maybe some people may got suspicious why these people are doing this at this time. But I say there is nothing connecting the election or campaign with this thing, because this was in this discussion and deliberation for quite a long time.
So Colonel Dinny, he's making a point. Other than a few church groups and some women's help groups and Alcohol Anonymous groups, there's no mass protest in Kerala because of this decision. In fact, if anything, people are actually welcoming this decision.
No,
yes, that is
let Colonel Dinny answer. Yeah, please. Thank you.
See, Zakka, that is what is unfortunately the sad state of Kerala today. Now, about 10 to 20 years back, this particular incident would have been, or a decision would have been such a hue and cry. It would have been made such a big difference. But and why I say so is in 2016. Mr. Yechuri is on record. He said that no single bar which the previous government had closed, we will open it. He's on record saying that. So that's exactly what they've done. They've not only opened, they have gone much ahead of it. So what has happened is systematically our society in Kerala has degenerated to such an extent that today, as you rightly said, if such a decision comes, people are happy, or at least people who are drinking.
No, but Colonel, then you're basically saying the people are at fault. The society is degenerated, people are at fault. Therefore, if the government is making such a decision,
that's not the
and
point.
there is no major opposition, then it's the people's problem.
No, that's not the point. The point is when LDF government said 2016 that they will gradually reduce. See, nobody is asking for complete ban. It has to be reduced. Now, what they've done is they've done they've done the entire opposite of what they preached. So naturally, when there is a large quantity of liquor floating, and Mr. Sebastian Paul sir would be knowing that during Onam or Christmas, we go for record sales of liquor. It happens during this festive season. So is it something which we should be proud of? The reason is that there is a system. There is a systematic failure of the government to curb this liquor tendency. That they have to gradually bring it down. So instead of doing that, they have done the opposite.
Dr. Paul was saying that he doubts if Kerala has one of the highest per capita consumptions of alcohol. It in fact has the highest per capita consumption of alcohol. In fact, the highest per capita expenditure on alcohol is 496 rupees. That's what an average Malayali spends. The point
There's
is,
another angle to it.
Yeah.
Why this which is happening? Why this kind of liquor policy is being followed? Because of a poor financial management. In Kerala state government is actually surviving on two major sources of income. One is the liquor and another is the lottery. So both are, in a kind of exploiting the common man. And, let's face it that the people who are actually drinking are the middle class and the lower middle class who are spending more than what they are supposed to do on liquor. The
Okay.
five-star people and all those things will be taken care of. But the real issue lies with the people who are actually, earning a daily living. That is what is being harmed. And that is where I hold the government accountable, that they have not done enough to curb these tendencies, to reduce it gradually so that the society improves.
we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it to the people of Kerala to decide. Dr. Paul seems to be very confident that the people will endorse this decision. But let's see. Elections will happen in a few weeks. Thank you very much to both Dr. Sebastian Paul and to Colonel Dini for joining us.